I've just marked my little piece of cardboard that I painted black, and I'm cutting out the small section, which is the 2 centimeters by 6 centimeters, and I'm just half cutting through that. I'm using a CD, and I'm just cutting small little pieces so that I can use them to place inside my little piece that I've just cut out. So just cutting a few little small pieces off, like that. And then I'm going to fill this with some PVA glue, and I'm going to stick all my little pieces in there. I've painted my doors black, and I've just drawn a little circle on a piece of cardboard which I'm placing onto the center and tracing around that. So I've done that already, and now I've taken the cap of another container which is just the right size for the portion that I want on the outside, and just traced around that and done the same on the other side. And now I'm going to be cutting this little piece out and doing the exact same thing by placing the little chips of CDs in there with the PVA glue. My little piece is all dry now, and now I'm going to fill that little gap, and I'm just using some UV resin, and then I'll put it under the light for 3 minutes. My dough is all dry, and now I'm taking the resin and filling these up as well. And now we can put that under the UV light. When you cut, it's always advisable to cut on the opposite side of the piece that you need. So I'm covering the piece that I need with my ruler, so if I slip, this is not going to matter. For my main door, I'm cutting it slightly differently. So I'm scoring along the sides like that, and along the bottom. And then I'm going in by 2.5 centimeters on either side and up by 2.5 centimeters. And I'm cutting that small square out and folding these inward. I've got it all scored and cut, and now we can just remove this small piece in the middle. So what I've done is I've scored along the top line and cut 2.5 centimeters inward, so I can just take that small piece out and then bend them over. And now we're just going to bend all these ones under along the score lines. I've cut a strip that is 2.5 centimeters wide, and all I'm doing is taking it and wrapping it around. So it's a bit difficult to see this because it's all black. I'm taking it and I'm going to be gluing it around the door. I've placed the 2.5 centimeter strips that we cut out around all my pieces like that. So that's what the front would look like now. The other thing that I've also done is at the bottom I've cut a 1 centimeter space and folded the front piece upwards so that it's got a lip like that. To make my downlights, I'm using these eyelets, which are normally for repairing canvases or tops. So just the perfect size for my little lights. And then I've just got the punch that punches the hole through and places this little eyelet into my cardboard. So I'm going to be placing those just under there. I've got 2 marks for my doorway. To make the handles for my doors, I'm using these tiny little beads, and I've just threaded 1 small and 2 large and a small at the top, and then I'm just going to bend the wires. I've bent my wires like that, and now I'm going to be adding an extra bead so that it sits just at the bottom, so one on each side of the really small little bead, like that. I've got the beads all in place, and now I'm just going to take a needle and poke a hole through so I can thread the wires through and then bend them around the back. And I'm making 2 handles exactly the same, so 1 for each of the doors. I've glued the frame around the door, and now I'm going to just be gluing that into my little house. So that's my little front door. And that's what the front door looks like with the little downlights. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.